called Stand Clear of the Closing Doors, which happened to be the first screener I watched. It's a narrative, although it almost presents itself almost as a documentary in a sense. So it's hard to kind of classify it as a drama, but it's about a boy who has autism in his family. So he has a mother who works as a housekeeper. He has an older sister who's in her teenage stage, so she's rebelling a little bit against her mother. Kind of wants to hang out with her friends, but her mom says no. Her brother, she has to help sort of take care of her brother a little bit. He does certain things that aren't appealing to anyone, but especially to a teenage girl. Doesn't really go to the bathroom where he should, kind of like, for example, he pees on the top of the toilet seat rather than opening the toilet, and going to the bathroom. And the mom's like, you have to help clean it up, that kind of thing. So, that doesn't really sit really well with the sister. And so at some point, so this sort of plays out for a little while. There isn't a lot of dialogue. It is a foreign film too. So there's a little bit of subtitle reading, that kind of thing. And the movie kind of gets into this groove a little bit. And then eventually the boy kind of runs away. Doesn't really run away. He just sort of wanders off. Because I don't know if he really knows if he's running away. He's just, he gets caught up in imagery. So he
just gets distracted.
He sees this, I can't remember what exactly it is. I think it's like a rabbit or something. He comes fixated with this image, and then he sees this guy with a tattoo, I think I was on his neck, and then he follows that guy who happens to get on the train, and so he's just stuck on this train for what seems like days. He's just riding the train, over and over and over and over and over, and his mom is looking for him, gets the help of this woman who works at a shoe store where the girl likes to go to and hang out, and then the boy, he sees shoes. So the woman is familiar with the boy, so that she's helping her make posters and sort of walk around and talk to people, that kind of thing. And this whole time, the boy is just sitting on the train. And I want to say it's set in New York, but I could be completely wrong about it, because it just kind of paints this atmosphere that is abnormal to American culture. Because it is sort of a foreign film, but I think it's set in it's just really strange. So, it plays out in, if you've ever been to a major, city and ridden on the subway or the train, you're going to run into every character known to man, the crazy people, the normal people. And so, but to him, they're just people. So he's just kind of watching him. And so you're seeing a lot of things from his perspective. And I can't say that I wholly enjoyed the film. I appreciated what it was trying to do. It's trying to sort of paint the picture of what it's like to have this condition, and the problems it's presents, and the things that people are willing to do to work with it rather than against it. But I have to say at some point that I just had to stop the movie and walk away from it for a little bit, and then I was able to get back to it, because it just seemed like it was trying to beat me over the head with what it was trying to do. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. It just seemed like it wouldn't. It was just kind of stuck in this loop, and I was like, okay, I get it, And so it's a positive and a negative, and it's kind of hard to make sense of that unless you, I think, watch the film. But the statement, okay, I get the point, kind of it was said, and I was like, okay, I appreciate what it's trying to do, but I kind of had to walk away from it for a little bit. I don't know if it could be, worked edited wise to make it seem clearer, because it does a really good job.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I enjoyed it. Yeah. And I don't think you're supposed to, in a sense. I think you're just supposed to be
a little difficult.
Yeah, it's a little bit like torture. But at the same time, it's this is kind of what it's like to be in this severity of this.
Yeah.
I think it's always strange to see those at home where you can take a break versus you're stuck in a theater
Yeah.
and you're in there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no escaping.
Exactly.
When there's that moment, you know.
And it's a really kind of quiet film in the sense that not a lot is said, so it's really visual. There's just a lot of visuals, and I think maybe that had to be a part of it too.
Yeah.
Was that there's just a lot of stuff going on, with the music and the the visual, and it's just kind of like, oh, it's just overload, And I can't say that I probably watched. It was probably like a full day at work for me, and then I'm going home and I'm like, I'm gonna jump into my screeners and this is gonna be great. And I knew nothing about any of these movies going in, and that might have hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe having an idea of what it was about could have set painted the picture a little bit better for me. But because it did take me a while to figure out what was going on. But again, did I even say what it was called?
I don't remember.
It's called Stand Clear of the Closing Doors.
Yeah, you did say that.
Which makes total sense
Because of the train.
because of the train.
Yeah.
But it takes so long to get there.
Yeah.
It takes so long to get there, at least 50 minutes. And I'm like, what does the title have to do with anything with this movie? And I could be completely off on the 50-minute mark. It could have probably happened in the 30 minute mark, but it just seemed like it took a long time to get to the point. So I did like sort of the characters they developed, but I don't know. It was a tough one, but in a good way.
Yeah.
So there's that. And that was the only narrative I was able to see.
Yeah. A Place for Film is recorded at WFIU Studios in Bloomington, Indiana.